When I took over as CEO, so you can imagine a company I just talked about with such a multi-century tradition of doing good in the community. When I took over as CEO, we had a lot of initiatives in place to show that we stood for good. In fact, we had 70, and that sounds like a really good thing. But really, the problem is when you try to do 70 things really well, you end up doing none of them as well as you want. And so one of the first things I did as the CEO, in accordance with our Accelerate strategy, was cut down the number of initiatives we have in the Standing for Good to 10. And so, as you say, they range from regenerative agriculture to greenhouse gas emission reduction to plastic recycling to animal welfare. 10 different areas that we focus on. And so we found that actually by focusing our area on what we're doing, we could actually do more good than we were doing with 70. And of those 10, there are 3 that have become really, really important to us. One is regenerative agriculture. So we use a lot of wheat, we use a lot of oats, we grow a lot of things from the ground. And so regenerative agriculture really is about restoring soil health, which has a tremendous number of benefits, not only to the planet, but also to us. Great soil health sequesters water better. It has greater biodiversity. So it creates an ecosystem that is more sustainable. And as the climate continues to change, that's more important for our business, but it's also really good for the earth. And so we set a goal of having 1 million acres under regenerative agriculture practices by 2030. That's about 25% of our total land usage. So it's not insignificant. And we're over 600,000 acres of the way there already. And we set this target only a couple of years ago. And so we're well on our way to achieving that. Greenhouse gas reductions. General Mills was the first company, not the first food company, the first any company to have a science-based target initiative of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And we said we would reduce it by 30% by 2030 and be carbon neutral by 2050. And then we also set a packaging reduction, which is our third big pillar. And so almost 95% of our packaging is now recyclable, with a goal to get to 100% again by 2030. And so one of the things I'm proud of is that we talk about strategies, but they're not just strategies on a page, they're things we actually do. And we do these things, we measure them, we report back how successful we are. And so because it's a part of our strategy, it's important. And our shareholders know it's important, our employees know it's important, our retail partners know it's important, our consumers know it's important. And so one of the things what I'm really proud of is how we've been able to make progress on the things that are most important to us. And we've done it by cutting down and by focusing.